Hello friends, welcome viewers. This is the month of September and it is the month of the birthday of Mother Mary. So I'd like to wish each and every one of you a very happy feast. And I thank you for watching my videos, and please check in the link down below. You can subscribe to my link so that we can bring more and more content to you. And as time goes on, we will help you interact with one another and help grow our channel. Okay, so I'd like to wish you once again a very happy feast, and God bless each one of you and your families as well. And the last few months, in fact the last few years, because of the pandemic, we are not able to celebrate the feast of Our Lady at the Mount, but what we can do is we can celebrate it in our homes with our families. Even though we cannot travel to Bandra, to Mount Mary's Church, we can still celebrate it amongst our family members, our friends, right? And we can bring the spirit of Catholic community of togetherness all amongst ourselves. Okay, so I'd like to take you guys, to some of the early memories that I have of the Mount Mary Festival, the Bandra Fair, and some people refer to as Bandra Vandre Bandora. These are the names, but they all come together to meet, enjoy themselves, celebrate at the Bandra Fair. And whenever I think of this, I go back to the 1970s and to the 1980s, 1990s, but the most memorable time were in the 1970s and 1980s, when it was still very, it was not so congested, and there used to be crowds and all the pushing on, but it used to, we still felt at that point in time that it was there were a lot of open spaces, open grounds. We'd come down from, we'd go first to the church, celebrate Mass over there, and there were all these stalls of candles and stalls of flowers along the way, and it was such a joyous celebration. It was when we used to go for the Navinas as well, climb up the Mount Mary steps. It used to be a tough thing in those days, but it was still part of devotion. There were Catholics coming from all parts of Bombay to the Mount, and candle stalls, the flower stalls, those little children jostling you to take the flowers, take the candles, and they were wonderful memories. We would go for our prayer service, novena, early in the morning, and then as time passed, because of the crowd, security reasons and all of that, people stopped coming, but people of other communities, other faiths began to come over there, and it has always been a great moment. I still remember in the 1970s, 80s, and through the 1990s we'd go, but we'd be very eager, after Mass, after the devotion, after the offering of candles and flowers, we would be very keen on coming down the stairs on the other side of the church, which comes through the Bandra Fair, and there would be this lady selling sarpatel pav. There was a particular dish called sarpatel pav, and also black chana, black halwa, cardio bogio. I used to always get confused with that word cardio bogio, so I used to call it andia bondia. And my mom said, my mom used to scream at me, she used to yell at me and say, don't call it andia bondia, because some people may get offended for saying it the wrong way. But that was the fun of it. And there was lots of merrymaking in those days. I mean, now also, as time has passed, there were still celebrations, merrymaking, joyous moments, but I would say that a little bit of that fun of the 70s, 80s, that has gone out of it. And as we used to come to the fair, we used to come across these guys selling that candy floss. In those days, they used to call it budika bal. Budika bal is like old woman's hair kind of a thing, and we would take that and would come eating that along the way. Then there was this thing called the giant wheel. There were many giant wheels all along the way. The giant wheels were one of the main attractions, in fact, over there. There was a merry-go-round on horses, the merry-go-round, and those nicely painted, newly painted horses. And I would just enjoy holding that thing over those sticks over there, and uh, galloping away. It was great fun. We would also enjoy ourselves at this place called a Wheel of Death. There was this Wheel of Death where there were motorcycles that go round and round along the walls of that wooden. They had made a wooden parameter, and that inside that the motorcycle would go round and round. And it was quite a frightening thing because the sound of the motorbike, it was without the silencers and all that, so it was quite a loud and noisy kind of a thing, but it was fun. Then as the years passed, they came out with a thing called a globe of death, where it was a huge globe made of metal mesh, and the motorcycle would go inside, and that fellow would go round and this way and that way and all that, So that was another great fun thing. We used to enjoy ourselves at this. Then there was another thing called where this guy would take photographs of people. It was a car, and people would go and sit inside and pose like they're sitting in a Cadillac or a Chevrolet. That was another fun thing. Then as we'd come down, there was this place called ADI. ADI was a small little eatery where you could buy barbecue stewed meats, and they used to have the sheikh kebab and many other things. But my younger brothers, Glenn and Savio, they would parcel it, a takeaway kind of a thing, and they'd bring it home to our place in Shirley. And because it was not possible to eat over there was so much of crowd, jostling around, pushing around, and bumping. You drop the food and that kind of a thing. So just to get it home. Then away from ADI, a little bit further, there was this Venus Bakery. There was a small little Venus Bakery, and lovely cakes and pastries over there as well. And a little further away from there was Mount Carmel Church. And in Mount Carmel Church, they had a huge ground. And in the 70s and 80s, it was huge. There was no mesh and nothing, no barricade as such. So it was a huge ground, quite a big ground. And they used to have the September Garden fest over there, like a lot of toys and a lot of games over there. It was a wonderful thing. There was a merry-go-round in the September Garden as well. It was awesome. Wonderful memories of those days. Sometimes when we go back to that, you get very emotional and very you start thinking of the good old days. It was beautiful. And the other important thing about this was the interaction between people. We used to meet a lot of friends over there. We met and never meet them throughout the year, but Bandra Fair and Mount Mary Fifth, we would meet them over there. So it was a good meeting place. September Garden also had jam sessions over there. And it was a great time. It was wonderful, just awesome. After the devotion, come down the stairs. There's black chana, black halwa, dodol, so much of memories. Cardio bodio, as I had mentioned earlier, and the sarkatel pav. Then once we reached home, there was great food, like traditional food like fugyas, boryas, home sarkatel, home vindaloo. and other delicacies, like but it was I mean, those memories bring back such bonding and such a good friendship, and it was a real good time in those years. I'm not saying now it's less important or less joyous, less merrymaking, but sometimes things are attached to your childhood. You tend to cling on to that, and the fun comes back. And sometimes you, like some members of the family have passed away and gone, so you miss those memories as well, as to how we enjoyed when those people, relatives, were alive, and when they were there with you, how things were different, how we enjoyed ourselves a lot, and like so you do get emotional and you do get sensitive sometimes, but that's the way life is. You have to take it as it comes. You need to work towards it and go on. And once again, viewers, I would like to wish you a very happy feast. I'm sorry I'm late with this video. Thank you very much for your support. In the link down below, you will see my link. You'll see my subscriber button. Please click so that we can get more videos, more material, more content to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless to you and your family. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Ciao.